He has so many flashes. Shannon, are you now a little more sold on Kyler?
No. Skip, they were down 20-0 with 8 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. He'd only passed for 53 yards in the first half.
That is correct.
With 0 points.
Yep.
And here's the thing that's concerning. Skip, we hadn't got to the halfway point. Because what have we seen in Kyler Murray's career once he gets to the halfway point? Numbers do this. His body starts to do that. He gets dinged. He gets nicked. So I'm not finna say, oh, is Kyler back or the Cardinals back? No, because I have talked to me week 12, and if Kyler Murray is still healthy, doing some of the things, but I just watched him last week, and Skip, this was backyard football. Now I just watched him got drugged last week by Kansas City, 37-7.
Yep.
That's what it was going into the fourth quarter last week.
Yep.
And Mahomes threw for 5 touchdowns, 350, 60-something yards. It got to a situation where he just had to play backyard football. Skip, the man took, what did he say, he ran like 80 yards. One play took 20 seconds. I've never, ever, maybe you have, of a play taking that long to happen.
The great Fran Tarkenton, maybe, but no one timed him in those days. But do you remember Fran Tarkenton?
I do remember Fran Tarkenton.
He could run around sort of like that.
Yes.
Sort of, but not like Kyler.
And Skip, maybe, when team doing laterals or the last play of the game, they lateral. So, okay, we get that.
Yeah.
But Skip,
this is one man with the ball.
One man. And Skip, he points. Well, he ain't over. He take off running. And he goes back over here, and he goes back over there. I don't know if they're going to show it. But it's like, really? This is NFL football, and we got a guy out here playing like it's Pop Warner, like it's Pee Wee.
Yep.
But that's what he does. That's what he's capable of doing. And once he gets the field spread, Skip, those big guys not finna get him down. Those big defensive linemen got 0 chance of getting Kyler Murray in that situation. Mm-hmm. Now, you at his mercy. Look.
There you go.
And Skip, we've been covering, you can only cover so long. And then you're going to lose track of him because you try to look and see where the guy's going. And as soon as he see you turn your head, he can put the head to the end zone. Look at this.
They're gassed. They're already gassed.
Yes.
They don't want any more of this. They're done.
Look at 95. 95 say, hey, somebody else get him. Because I ain't got nothing. And that's demoralizing.
He covered 85 yards on one play.
On one play.
On one play. That's got to be the NFL record. It's got to be.
And in a situation, Skip, late in the ball game, you got to bring pressure. You got to make him make a decision right now. You got to make him get the ball out of his hand. Because the one thing you don't want him to do is do what he did again. Now, it didn't take that long, but you see he's just buying time. He's just buying time. And the moment he sees, it looked like Abram is kind of trying to spy on him. And he sees Abram take one step too far to his left. He shoots to his left, which is Abram's right, and he races him to the end zone. He races him to the corner of the end zone, touchdown, and then he throws the 2-point conversion to A.J. Green. And then we know what happened with Hunter Renfrow fumbles the ball, they get it back, and then Xavier Simmons unloads on him. He fumbles again, they scoop and score. But no, Skip, his health and his size are still a concern for me.
Okay, to your point, Kyler said after the game, in the end, it was just about backyard football. Okay? Well, it just was. There is no man on earth better at backyard football than Kyler Murray, and that includes Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Lamar can't do that. This is both quickness and burst speed. Like Lamar, if he gets loose, he's going to go 79 yards as he did, and it looked like he'd slammed the door on Tua yesterday. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But Kyler's feet are just cartoonish. They're just electric feet. And the quickness is off the charts. It is true. He has become what he loves to do the most. It's almost like he has morphed into the video games that he is a savant at playing because he is high caliber. He's top echelon video game player, maybe to a fault because I think he's just flat out addicted to it. I've told the story about he had last year at a birthday party at his house. And the whole birthday party, he sat in his room with the door shut playing video games because he was just obsessed with it while everybody else had fun celebrating his birthday. And they had to knock on his door to put his food out.
Hey, bro, you do know we're here for you, right?
Yeah. Okay, but that's who he is, and that's why there was, for a while, the homework clause, because the whole Cardinals hierarchy feared that he was just more into video games than studying.
Correct.
And I know one of his responses has been, the video games help me to anticipate on the field. And I don't doubt that whatsoever. I think it is good mental exercise to see it and read it as it's happening. And I think he can on the fly, he's very good at anticipating a defense.
Yeah, he has great improvisational skill.
Okay, but even this game alone, if you step back from it, what was the quote from Cliff Kingsbury at the end of the game, after the game? He says, we played about as bad as you could in the first half and didn't play great in the second half, but the effort was incredible. I'll give you that.
Right.
And it was inspired by the little quarterback. They kept fighting, and the Raiders kept gagging. And I was extremely disappointed in the Raiders that they weren't able to go for the throat. And there's one stat here that I'm completely mind-boggled over. And can somebody please explain to me how Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels could manage to get Davante Adams the ball twice for 12 yards? They threw him 7 balls, but he caught 2 for 12. Okay, help me out. If you get ahead 20-0 and you've got that nuclear weapon, Davante, don't you just get him? Don't you feed him? Just feed the beast?
Right.
Can't you get that home?
I don't know if they noticed this, but Hunter Renfrow is not beating you. They don't fear him. They fear 17.
He's still pretty good.
He's pretty good,
He's
Skip,
tough.
but he nick you.
Yeah.
Devontae gonna send you to the trauma center.
Absolutely.
And then you got Darren Waller. There's no reason with those two with a tight end, because we saw how explosive Kansas City was with Tyreek and Kelsey.
Yep.
Well, you got Darren Waller. I'm not saying he's Kelsey, but he's close. He's probably a tick below Kelsey.
Yep.
And then you got Devontae. Bruh, with that, and then you got Hunter Renfrow. If you let him work the slot and you let Devontae, you can't double everybody, Skip. You cannot.
Okay, I got it. But in the end, I'm looking at the numbers. Kyler was 3 of 13 for the game on third down. 3 of 13, that shouldn't win the game.
You should lose. That should be an automatic loss.
Okay. And furthermore, Kyler Murray was spotty until the end of the game when he became as electric as you'll ever see a player. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the red zone.
Yep.
One team went 3 for 3. The other team went 2 or 3.
Okay, there you go. That ended up being the difference in the game. Hunter Renfrow, as he's fighting for extra yards, he's got it in field goal range.
Yes.
When Isaiah Simmons because remember, Hunter had to spin right into it, and it's a head-on.
Yes.
And it's just, he just gets completely blown up at the line of demarcation for the winning field goal.
I'm not so sure they felt comfortable because the guy had already missed 2 field goals, Skip. So they're probably.
He's really good.
He is.
Yeah.
And like you said, those are the worst hits to take. Because I took one of those in college. As a matter of fact, I was at a bowl game, and I spun off a guy, Skip, and Cleveland Coder put his helmet right up under my chin. And I did the exact thing that Hunter Renfrow. I threw the ball up there, take it. I ain't got it no more. Don't hit me like that again.
Well, it's almost like you lose control.
You do, Skip, because you don't believe. You're like, oh, yeah. I felt I was like, oh, I got this one. Hit me right there. I threw the ball up in there, just like Hunter Renfrow did.
It's like involuntary, where you just lose control of your limbs.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
He got. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, because he got checked for a concussion.
Did he?
Because and Simmons is a big dude now.
All right. So what do I know about Kyler? I love him. I loved him coming out of obviously my team, Oklahoma. Should have been the first pick in the draft, has made the last 2 Pro Bowls, but I cannot defend, to your point, what happened down the stretch of 2 straight years. Not 1, but 2. Mainly it happened because he's stout, but he is small. And if you're going to run as much as he does, you are going to take too many licks, and you're going to get nicked.
Yes.
You're not going to be quite as electric down the stretch. So you can't make quite as many plays because your body's not working the way it is right now when he's fresh.
Exactly, and that's the problem. If he loses anything from those legs out of that body, Skip, now you've greatly reduced how effective he can be. Because without those legs, what makes him dynamic, people don't, he can throw the ball, but it's those legs that move at 100 miles an hour that puts the fear of God in everybody that he faces.
Yeah, obviously, for the moment, he doesn't have D-Hop, and maybe this time the return of DeAndre Hopkins will help them have a surge down the backstretch.
Well, they could have easily been 0-2. The thing is, Skip, when you get D-Hop back in week 7, hopefully you haven't given up so much ground that you still have something to fight for, and you try to get a wild card. You try to get a wild card spot. But give them credit. I thought they were dead to right. I said, there's no way they're coming back winning this game because they had shown no pulse. They had shown no life whatsoever. And considering how bad they looked at home just last week, I'm like, man, Clint Kingsbury, boy, they about to give you the pink slip. They about to show you the door.
And by the way, somebody was writing out the pink slip at the end of the game on the 2-point conversion. He takes a delay of game on a 2-point try, and all of a sudden you go -5 back to the 8-yard line? To the 8-yard line? And Kyler saves his bacon by hitting A.J. in the back of the end zone. And it looked like for a second A.J. had kind of bobbled it off the turf, but I think he kept a hand under it and they gave it to him.
Yes.
Okay? But Kyler saved Cliff Kingsbury because I promise you, how do you take a delay on the play to force overtime?
Right.
What?
Because you should have, Skip, everybody has probably like 2 or 3 2-point plays.
Yeah.
Obviously,
but their 2-point play is Kyler.
Just run around till they get tired and then race them to the corner of the end zone. So you probably should have had that 2-point play because once they got that touchdown, okay, you know you're going for 2 because you need 2 in order to tie the game. So there's no reason for you to take a delay of game because the team, they're out there. Skip, it's not like you got to run, I thought we were going to go for 1, and you got to run the field goal unit, the PAT unit back off the field. Everybody that's going to be in the game is already out there.
Yep. So all I know for sure about Kyler Murray is he will battle you to the bitter end.
Yeah.
He will battle you.
Yes.
But unfortunately, if he's battered, he can't battle.
Yeah. Because everything, their offense is, Skip, I can't, I'm not all the way in on him just yet, Skip. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, on that, I would have to agree.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.